Casey Johns here on 102.3 WHCL. Wow, that'll get you doing a little butt dancing, I guarantee it. And right now, I get to welcome Casey Johns into the WHCL studio. She's here in person. Oh, my gosh. And Casey, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I really do appreciate it.
Man, how you feeling?
I'm doing good, and you must be one tired person. You've been on the go a lot.
Dude, this year has been crazy. We have been overseas. We've been on tour all year, so it's just been a really, really good year.
Now, if you're not familiar with Casey, she's a big rising star from Nashville country music. And I'll tell you, some of her music is incredible. One of your songs just crested 1 million views, which is really insane.
It's crazy. We were just talking about that, how rare it is for a lot of independent artists to actually get that next step. So, yeah, it's just been wild. I'm grateful and I'm blessed that people just related to the story.
Now, the song we just played is called Dodging Bullets. I like that title.
Thanks.
When you're a songwriter, what's the story behind that song? There's got to be one.
So we were actually just in the writer's room. We were talking about, I wrote this song with Tim Baumgartner, Tim Angston, they're both in the band, and my buddy Billy Smiley, and we were just basically just talking about how being on the road as a woman, how tough it is, and it's basically just about that, about dodging bullets and about the people you meet, and you know, there's some creeps out there, you know, you never know who you're gonna meet, but then also you meet really, really beautiful people, so it's you never know who you're gonna meet out on the road, so it's kind of a wild ride.
As long as the beautiful people outnumber the creeps, you're
1,000%. Right. Come on.
But you probably learn how to deal and deflect them pretty good, I would assume.
You have to, right? Thank God I have the boys with me on the road. You know, they take care of me.
What's been the biggest thing what's been the biggest challenge being on the road so much? How do you balance that with your personal life? I mean, that's got to be very difficult.
It is. Sometimes it is. Yeah, I think honestly, you just have to keep the people around, the people that you love that are around you, keep those very close to you, because you never know who you can trust out on the road. And honestly, just continue to keep that balance. Like, I'm always journaling. I'm always making sure I'm making time to exercise. And then you find that balance where you can still go out and drink whiskey with the boys and have a good time and still be, it's definitely pretty hard, but it's kind of a messy balance, but you do it, you make it work.
Speaking of whiskey, we got to talk about this because this is pretty cool. You've got your own branded whiskey. How in the world did that come about?
Yeah, I met some people out in Nashville, and I partnered with this company, Cali Distillery, and honestly, it came from kind of a joke. Somebody backstage was like, dude, I feel like you would sell the hell out of some whiskey if you had your own. And I laughed it off, but it kind of became like a real thing, and I met this company, and we partnered. I went through the whole process of branding the whole thing, choosing the flavor, choosing the name of we named it after the record, and it became kind of, we're a whiskey drinking band, man. We like to have fun. We like to drink whiskey and have a good time, So
a lot of taste testing went into the brand.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So my guitar player also helped me choose this flavor, because I was like, man, if we got to drink this stuff out on the road, we got to like it. So we chose like a smoky mesquite bourbon, which has been one of our favorites, because I love old fashions. I love whiskey neat. You can drink it both ways.
Mm-hmm. So that sounds pretty good. You know, you talk about old fashions. Up here in Wisconsin land, it's all brandy old fashioned.
That is very true. That. Yes.
I know, it's weird. You know, you go anywhere else in the country, it's whiskey, but of course up here it's brandy.
Yep.
So
very true.
Okay, I wanted to go back a little ways. You were born in Memphis, raised in Mississippi.
Yep.
And you know, you and I were talking a little before we went on the on mic here that rodeo's in your blood.
It is.
Tell me about that.
Yeah,
that's something that is special to me too.
That's so cool that you said that and you brought that up. We were just talking about how your family they pretty much did it all in rodeo, right?
My uncle did, yeah.
Yeah, that's so wild. So my dad was a bull rider. My mom was a champion bale racer, and I kind of just followed in her footsteps. I've had horses my entire life growing up, and just kind of followed in her footsteps and rode barrels forever. And then my granddad he played guitar, and so my mom was like, all right, if you're gonna choose one hobby, you're gonna have to choose one or the other, because both are expensive. So it was either rodeo or music, and I decided to go with music. But yeah, rodeo makes you tough, that's for sure, and I think that's kind of what I've carried into this music world with me, is just taking on that toughness as being a part of the rodeo world, for sure.
So Learning the guitar, was that something your grandfather taught you, or are you self-taught? How did you learn to play the guitar?
He did. My granddad would pick on the front porch all the time, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I picked it up from him. He taught me how to play and gave me my first guitar, and yeah, it definitely came from him.
And then from there, moving to Nashville when you were 17?
So I didn't get to move that early. I went to Nashville. I asked my mom if she could take me to Nashville over spring break, and I fell in love with it. But I also kind of felt overwhelmed. So I didn't get to move there right away. I started a band back in Memphis, played the Bill Street scene forever. And then when I was about 20, I got a job on cruise ships. And so I kind of took that route.
Wow. That had to be kind of weird.
It was super weird.
I can imagine. I cruise ships are interesting places, and you meet a ton of people, a lot of old people usually.
Yeah, well, I worked for Carnival. It was kind of a party ship, so there was just people all over the world. Man, it was just crazy.
Now you ended up doing that a lot longer than you thought you would.
Yeah, I was going to do 1 6-month contract. I ended up staying there for 6 years. I loved it.
Why did you love it so much?
I think it was the people. I think the people that you get to meet. I think honestly, just being challenged in different types of music. I mean, we played everything from Motown to disco to classic rock to country to 80s music. I mean, I learned so much about music that I think I loved the challenge of it and learning new material, and it was a blast. And
I know you also spent quite a bit of time at Dollywood. That had to be a really amazing experience.
Dolly was the best boss. Being there, I was in a show called Country Crossroads, and I was able to be in her Christmas Coat of Many Colors film, which was a lot of fun.
You're going back there, I think, in about a month, too, aren't you?
I am. I got to go back and see my friends. It was such a fun time. And we're not far from there. I live in Nashville. I'm 3 hours from there, so it's always fun to go back and hang out.
Before we continue, you brought your guitar.
I did.
I'd love if you'd play something for our listeners.
I would love to.
That would be awesome.
I would love to, absolutely.
Man, it's like having my own private concert.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, this song is basically, it's a single that came out in June, and it's basically just about when I moved to Nashville, like we were talking about earlier in 2017, I just kind of felt a little overwhelmed, and you can kind of get led astray in a lot of different ways. And I think, if you write about what you want to write about, you sing about what you want to sing about, paint your own white lines, and you will eventually find your way, and just be who you are in this industry, because it's hard. Any industry you're in, it's hard to find your way. So that's basically what the song's about. Hope you like it. And I'm going to have to tune that for now because, sorry, I just got off a flight yesterday, and it's
That's
just
all right.
been
Take your time.
crazy getting this thing back in tune. That's going to drive me nuts. All right. It's close enough. Let's do it. Can you hear them 500 horses packed up underneath this hood? Took a while just to get this girl running in. And now she sounds so good, sounds so good, that you never thought she could be so tough, that you never thought she could ever run these roads. Won't stop till the pedals to the metal. 3, 2, 1. That kind of feel, yeah. That kind of ride, like a fine silk-done fate. Full-time over, driving fast, yeah. That's what makes me feel alive when I paint my own white lines, yeah. Yeah, that's my kind of vibe. My vibe is a 6-string rockin', jet black going out of tune. My vibe is a 3-piece band with a 2-shot buzz and only one thing to prove it. Well, that kind of feel, yeah. That kind of ride, like a fine souped-up fate. Full-time over, driving fast, yeah. That's what makes me feel alive when I paint my own white lines, yeah. Yeah, that's my kind of vibe. Yeah, that's my kind of vibe. Hey.
Wow. That was awesome.
Thanks, Mark.
I'll tell you what, if that doesn't get you out to Beef and Dairy Days on Saturday night, there's something wrong with you. That's an awesome song.
Thank you. It's going to be fun Saturday night. I'm excited to be here.
I'll tell you, we're really excited to have you here. It's going to be a great night. How did you discover you could write songs? Was this an evolving thing, or was it just all of a sudden, boom, there it was? I find that talent amazing.
I think, honestly, I've always journaled. I mean, I've always just kept a journal as a kid and just kept a diary, and I just kind of fell in love with words, and I fell in love with lyrics, and I'm a huge book nerd. I love to read, so I love words, and I think words mean a lot when you're speaking to anyone or you're writing them down. And yeah, when I started writing with the boys in the band, it became even more powerful because they could write my story better than I could. And we've just been able to write so many great songs together. And just kind of, I was one that I wrote with them, and they have been amazing to write with. So I think just honestly, and I think just being genuine and honest, being able to write that down is incredible. So I think if you just write honest, and people will relate to that, I hope.
Give a shout out to the boys in your band and who we're going to see with you on stage Saturday night.
Yeah, you're going to see Tim Angston, who's just an amazing bass player and writer, and you're going to see Tim Baumgartner, who's going to shred on the guitar, and you're going to see Adam Puff back there on the drums, just rocking it.
Is there a favorite song so far that you've written that you just think that's really good?
I think the song that I wrote about my granddad, who pretty much inspired my love for music, has been probably my favorite song that I've written so far. We wrote this song. My granddad passed away 2 years ago, and yeah, he was like my best friend in the whole world. And so I finally was able to sit down and write a song with the boys and just be very vulnerable about how he would always call me up and before shows and talk to me about the road life and talk to me about country music and talk to me about whiskey and anything. You know, he was just the best. And so we wrote a song for him, and it finally comes out at the end of August. So I'm excited to finally get a song out for him because he totally deserves it.
He'd be very proud of you.
Thank you, Mark.
Being a grandfather, I got to tell you, that's a special thing.
Thank you.
So he would be very proud of you. Touring is a grind. I know you're doing almost, 200 shows a year?
200 dates a year. It's crazy, dude.
How do you keep track of where you are at any given time?
I don't. I woke up this morning. I didn't even remember what state I woke up in. Like, it's crazy. You never really know. You just keep up with the grind. And luckily, I have a phone that has a calendar.
Yeah, well, that does help. That does help. What is the difference between touring in the UK and the crowds in the UK and the crowds here? Is it a big different world?
I think it totally is. And with all due respect, I think that the crowds in the UK really, really love music, and they soak it up. I mean, every single show we did, I've never seen so many people just watch you. Like, they don't talk when you sing. They just watch you, and they soak in every single moment, and they're so present. It was just a crazy and different experience I had not experienced yet. So it was a beautiful thing.
Did you enjoy the food over there?
You know, people kept telling me that the food was going to be bad, but I had Thai food and sushi and Chinese. I had all the cultural food.
Oh,
it was awesome. It was great.
You didn't eat the British food.
I didn't.
Okay. All right. I'll let you off the hook on that one. In regard to the music, as you were singing, I was sitting here and I was thinking, man, I hear country, I hear rock, I hear some blues in there. Who were your inspirations when you were developing as a musician?
I think my inspirations were kind of all over the place. I mean, I grew up on blues music, obviously being from Memphis. I love country music because, that's my family's favorite. And then my family had a lot of rock and roll vinyls laying around the house, so I just fell in love with rock and roll. So all of it together. I mean, one of my favorites is Sheryl Crow. She pretty much does all of that, and she's a person that I've really looked up to as far as writing and rock and roll and blues and country. And I'm also just a huge fan of just chick artists, like huge fan. So I really love Sheryl Crow. She's been one of my favorites. And then Led Zeppelin, like they're one of my favorites. I mean, just Joan Jett, one of my all-time favorites. My inspirations are all over the place.
Where do you see yourself going? First of all, let me backtrack a little bit. When you were young and just getting started, did you ever dream that you'd be where you are today?
Not at all. Honestly, not at all. I just knew I wanted to play music. I didn't care where it was, whether it was on a cruise ship, whether it was on an island somewhere. I didn't care. I just wanted to play music. And now that we're here, now that we just had a single hit, 1 million views, a million streams, it's just crazy. I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed to have really wonderful people around me. And man, I just get to play music. That's really where I want to go. If I can be successful just playing music, I'm happy with that.
Well, I'll tell you, I can't see any end to your career. I really can't. I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Saturday night, 8 to 12, by the way, under the tent here at Beef and Dairy Days. It's going to be an amazing night with Casey Johns on stage with her band. How do you get ready for a show? What can we expect coming up Saturday night?
Well, we're going to be taking a few shots of whiskey. Hopefully you'll be there, Mark.
I plan to.
So maybe you can come do a shot with us.
Well, I don't drink, but I'd be more than happy.
You know what? You can just hang with us. How about
I'll hang
that?
with you. How's that?
That's my favorite part about getting ready for a show is just hanging with everyone. So I'm hoping I can just go out there and hang with people.
Well, I can tell you what, it's going to be an amazing night. And Casey, I certainly appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. You're going to be, I know you're on the road the next 3 nights here in Wisconsin. Sturgeon Bay tomorrow.
Yes.
Appleton, I think, on Friday.
Correct.
And then back here on Saturday.
Yep.
Door County is cool. You'll like it.
I'm so excited. People keep telling me how great it is. We played up there last year just doing an acoustic set, and people just keep saying, we got to play the Door County Festival. So it'll be fun. I'm excited.
You'll have a great time. You will. Have some fish up there, maybe some deep fried cheese curds. You'll
I'm in. That's the reason you come to Wisconsin, for the cheese curds.
That's right. And the music.
And the music.
All right. Casey Johns, we'll see you on Saturday night at Beef and Dairy Days. You don't want to miss that, folks. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to round it out right now with Rodeo Queen, the song that just went over 1 million on... Wow. That's got to make you happy.
It's crazy. I never thought that would happen.
Anyway, Rodeo Queen, Casey Johns here on WHTL.
Mama didn't raise no big city pretty girl.